Hello, my friends. I'm doing something a little different today. I got a deck of questions. This is from Intuit Publishing. I think that's what they call themselves. And the question is, what tools do I have in my toolbox that I haven't fully utilized, and how can I put them to use to create more abundance? The card that came out, as you can see, is the Devil in reverse. The universe, or the divine, however you care to think of it, is not messing around with you today. Wow. Okay, so it appears you have bad habits, vices, addictions, lies that you tell yourself. Sorry, I left out a few things. Also, illusions and delusions. Okay, but you have the ability to overcome all of these things. You have the ability to be honest with yourself. You have the ability to, sorry, this is out of whack, isn't it? To overcome your bad habits, vices, and addictions. That's what the Devil card is telling me in reverse. And if it were in the upright, then I'd be really confused. But most likely, you are telling yourself that it's too much, it's too hard, you can't do it, and on and on. I understand why you would tell yourself that. I've certainly done it. Plenty of people have said, it's a bad habit, or I can't do anything about it, or even jokingly refer to their bad habits as addictions when they're really not. So yeah, this is very common. It's also not true. You can do something about it. You have the power to do something about it. No one else can do it for you. That's for sure. It's your life, your body, your mind, your bad habits, vices, addictions, illusions, and delusions. They all come from you. Or they are all things that you have chosen to do in response to external forces, shall we say. I'm not trying to victim blame here. I'm trying to empower you. I know that a lot of these things are put in place when you are very young and you don't have the power to do anything about it. But I'm going to assume that you are over 18 now. You are at least technically an adult, because I mark my videos as for adults only. So you do have some capacity, some ability to create change in your life, to begin healing, because that's what's really being called for here. And I understand why that seems so difficult. It might even seem impossible. But here we have this idea that you can do something about it. So what tools do you have? I'm not even going to bother trying to figure out who this reading is for, because quite honestly, we all have bad habits, vices, addictions, and we all lie to ourselves. Every single one of us. I am not exempt. I don't know anyone who is exempt. So, what tools does my viewer have that they are overlooking that will help them to deal with? Apparently, you are smart, or at least you have the ability to get help. You have the ability to learn something new. perhaps you have a mentor or potential mentor, a King of Pentacles, a guide, or a role model. Someone who can, well, if you're going to be a student, then you need somebody to study with, right? Yeah, so here we go. King of Pentacles. Somebody who perhaps has already been down this road and can give you some helpful ideas, suggestions, pointers. Perhaps somebody who will be willing to be your teacher or your mentor. I mean, if we're talking about addictions, AA is a rather famous example of an organization that does exactly this, or at least tries to. Their success rate is pretty good, so I'm not saying you're an alcoholic, but, you know, it's one example of that has worked for people. All right. I'm not exactly sure what these are saying. Four of Wands in reverse, Six of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse is my childhood issues card. And then the Four of Wands, that's your community, your family, your friends, the kind that stick around, not the kind that come and go. So long-term, permanent relationships that are not serving you, which, considering the childhood issues card has come up, that's not really a surprise. So perhaps you have the ability to recognize where your community isn't helping you, where your background, your childhood did more harm than good. Recognition is the first step. It's not the final step. And we have the dream space. So dream space is unique to this deck. It's interesting that the panda is holding a heart. And this heart appears to have roots, but they are black roots. Roots typically aren't black. They're dirty, sure, but they're not black. So perhaps you need to look to your dreams to see what this might mean to you. Something has been growing from this, obviously. And your dreams will have more answers about this than I can give you. Then we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups can be about good communication. It can be about friendship. And it can be about partying, which, considering we have the Devil in reverse, this is not a good sign. And of course, it's on top of the Four of Wands in reverse. I don't know. I'm sure there are good people around you, but perhaps it's time for you to use your discernment and figure out which of those people are hurting you and which of those people are helping you. With the gardening metaphor, it may be time for some pruning. Here we have a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So that is a toxic relationship. But we also have the Queen of Cups in the upright. So it appears you do have some positive, helpful people around you, as well as some toxic people. That's not really a surprise. The Queen of Pentacles is probably overly focused on the material, on looking good for others. What will others think? greed, materialism, which we already talked about. Queen of Cups is perceptive, very intuitive, very emotionally intelligent, appears to be very soft, perhaps even gullible, but is very capable of understanding you and reading you. And even if they are tolerant of your behaviors, your excuses, even if they are loving, they will know the truth. So their BS meter works very, very well. So you need to look around you with more discernment. That's the message I'm getting so far. This may be the tool that you have not been using. You need to look at your community. Yes, the relationships have all been long-term, perhaps familial relationships, parents, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, long-term friendships, lifetime friendships. But are they really serving you? Some of them can be better. Some of them may become stronger. But some of them undoubtedly have to be pruned away. That's what happens in healing. Things change. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It may feel bad in the moment, but in the long run, you'll understand that it was necessary. Even if the relationships don't end, they will change in nature as you understand yourself better and you understand them better. So it looks to me like discernment is the issue here, and being honest with yourself. So let's get back to the heart of this. Are you willing to learn? You have the capacity, clearly. Maybe you could go back to school. Maybe that's what you're being called to do. Maybe you have to be willing to acknowledge what you don't know. If pride is an issue for you, that could be a problem. You don't have to go back to school. It could be learning independently. It could be learning if you're learning something non-traditional, maybe there is no school. So there can be independent learning, independent studying. Doesn't mean you can't have advisors or mentors along the way. Be very careful who you take on as an advisor or a mentor or a teacher. And expect to outgrow them. A good one will tell you that you've outgrown them and suggest that you find somebody else. A bad one will try to keep you small because it hurts their ego to think that you've grown beyond them. But you do have some positive people around you. You just need the discernment to work with them, value them, listen to what they have to say. I wish you all the best. Good luck.